Hello, hello. Welcome back to Estilo y Belleza by GW. As you know, I have a time off for like a month. We are doing a lot of good things, a lot of new stuff coming in into my channel. And today I have the pleasure, I have the honor to have with me in my channel here in Orlando, Mr. Khalid Muneer. Welcome, Mr. Khalid.
Thank you so much, Gabby. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and I look forward to our conversation today.
Absolutely. I meet Mr. Khalid through the networking events. That's how we get our connections. That's how we started, like a few months ago. Am I correct?
That's right. We met at the Lake Nona Chamber event, and the way we do business in the 21st century is totally different. What the way we used to do business before. 21st century is all about creating business through relationships, and where you build those relationships are at the networking events.
That's correct. Mr. Khalid, he has a lot of things to tell us about it. He has a lot in the industry where we are in it. It's about everything about business. He run one of that the district then as
U.S. Congressman, yeah.
U.S. congressman. So here it is, and then I'm gonna let him know and let us know a little bit more about his background. Tell us a little bit how you start this journey.
Well, I am a fourth generation immigrant. Uh, Actually, yeah, fourth gen. I was a second generation immigrant. My grandkids are fourth generation now.
Okay.
So basically, my parents they moved from. In fact, the journey starts with my grandparents. They moved in from India to Pakistan in 1947 when the country was split up into India and Pakistan. And then back in 1959, my parents they emigrated from Pakistan to Britain. And then my generation, myself, I emigrated from Britain to the United States about 33 years ago in 1991.
Wow.
So that is kind of a brief history of my four generations of family.
And I'm glad and everything is going well, especially in this day, how is going through right now with all the immigrants and that kind of stuff. It is
Well, it is
it is
tough
a challenge.
situation, a challenging situation right now, and hopefully, it'll sort itself out in due course, so that we have a not temporary but a permanent solution to the undocumented immigrants that are here in this country. So everybody will be better off when that is streamlined at a later date.
That is correct. And tell me a little bit about your business. I know you have a few business. We're going to learn a lot about Mr. Khalid.
Well, my main business is the real estate brokerage company. I established my brokerage company 22 years ago here in Central Florida. My first office was in Jacksonville, and then I expanded to Palm Coast and then to Orlando. So we do commercial real estate, residential real estate, and business brokerage. So I personally myself have been in the business 28 years, 29 years, and I have 50 agents, and they all specialize in different areas. For example, I have one agent. His sole business is he specializes in the hospitality industry. So he does the brokerage for hotels. I have another lady. All she has been doing for the last 16 years is specialize in mitigation land throughout the state of Florida. So we're very specialized in different areas. I myself, I specialize on business brokerage and commercial real estate. So we are very, very varied and diversified company, not only from a product point of view, but also from the agent's point of view. So the 50 agents that I have, they come from 22 different countries, and they speak 24 different languages. So we attract pretty much all the various sections of the community here in Central Florida. I mean, of course, in Central Florida here, if you take a tally of the schools, there are students from 198 countries around the globe uh, attending the attending the schools here, which means we have people from over 198 countries living here in Central Florida. So it's a very global community here,
It is.
and it is a strength of my company that I'm able to attract agents with different cultural background because they understand the culture of their own community and they are better able to deal with their own community than somebody who is totally unaware of the cultural practices and the business practices.
And especially right here in Central Florida, that we have a lot of Spanish community. We have a lot of cultures, not just Spanish. We have from everywhere, like you say. It is very important that you have so many people under you and they speak multiple language.
Right. So when we talk about the Latino Hispanic community, you're looking in Orange County, you're looking at 32% of the population is Hispanic and Latino. So if you don't have the right people to deal with them, then you are really missing out 32% of the business. And that's a very important fact to keep in mind. So, and the other communities, 10% is Asian American. So therefore, if you don't have any Asian American agents or realtors, then that section of the community you're missing out. So between them, you're missing out 42% of the market. So I have agents who are from Vietnam, from China, from
Wow.
and the other Asian, India, Pakistan, and then the Middle East, Egypt, Lebanon, Uganda. So you name it, they're all there. And I think a lot of that has to do from the fact that I myself, in my previous life, for 17 years was international banking. And during my period in international banking with the banks, I worked and lived in over 10 countries around the globe in Africa, the Middle East, Europe, and of course here in Americas. So I'm better able to deal with my agent, having a deep knowledge of their culture and their historical background, etc.
It's very important. And I know I had met you a couple of months ago, but the relationship we have created in this industry as a business and businesswoman and minority, I heard now that you're going to have your own chamber. Is that correct?
Yes, we have various chambers here in Central Florida, and I myself have served in the past as a president of the Asian American Chamber of Commerce. And of course, I used to sit on the board of the Puerto Rican Chamber. I was a president of the American Muslim Chamber, and various other, sat on the board of the Brazilian Chamber, and various other chambers here. So, my basic reason for that is that as I previously explained, you have to connect with all the communities. Brazilian community is very large here. There are 350,000 Brazilians here in Central Florida.
That's what I heard about it. I didn't know until last week. Yes, that was a lot of Brazilian in here as well.
Right. So, I mean, when we talk about minorities, we are no longer the minorities, we are the majority.
Yes.
So, if you are missing all those sections out, you are pretty much missing the majority of your
Of your
clientele
business. Yes.
and business. So you need. I mean, cannot. I can, but I don't really understand how the Chinese culture or the Chinese way of business is being done. So I have a Chinese realtor, and she's very good at it. She's been my top agent because over the years, before the governor put a ban on Chinese buying real estate in the state of Florida, she was my top agent because we used to have a lot of investments coming in from China. So that's something that you have to keep in mind when you are living here in Central Florida. And recently, I'm also the president of the Central Florida International Chamber of Commerce. One of the complaints I used to have from the local cities, the fact that we have various chambers here. We have the Hispanic chamber, the Asian chamber, Puerto Rican chamber, an Indian chamber, etc. And one of the complaints when you go to those chamber events, most of the people there in the Hispanic chamber are Latino. In the Brazilian chamber is a Brazilian. So I created, with the help of Lais, who was the president of Central Florida Brazilian American Chamber, our own chamber, which is the Central Florida International Chamber of Commerce. So the board members are all the former presidents or VPs of the other chambers in the area. In other words, we have the two ex-presidents of the Greater Haitian American Chamber of Commerce on the board. We have Lais, the former president of the Central Florida Brazilian American Chamber. We have the ex-president of the Asian American Chamber. So we have a varied board members, very diversified board, and they are able to connect. So members can come into our social business events and feel comfortable wherever they are from, because we have Brazilian board members and the Haitian board members, etc., etc. So they're not really connected to one section of the community only, but pretty much what our beautiful city represents, which is all the communities.
And I love that that is international. Everybody can come and not feel like you are going to an Hispanic chamber, that you have been at the Hispanic chamber. This most of the people that are Hispanic, like the Brazilians, you say now you are in this international, whereas everybody's gonna be there. Anyone can come to this chamber.
Right, and feel comfortable with it. In addition to that, one of the weaknesses that we saw here in Orlando was also the fact that although Orlando attracts over 75 million tourists, 15 million of those are from overseas. There doesn't seem to be much connection between the Orlando and some of the international chambers that are out there. So recently, I also became the managing director of the Global Chamber. Now, Global Chamber is in 94 countries. It has 535 chambers throughout the globe, throughout the world. So this pretty much is a way to bring the world to Orlando and take Orlando to the world out there from a business point of view. So when we have our meetings, monthly meetings on Zoom, we have our board members and members from all over the globe in 94 countries. So in other words, I am the managing director of Orlando. So any of those chapters, they have clients who want to invest in Orlando. When it comes to Orlando from a business point of view, I am the point man for them here in Orlando. So that should bring us more business and more resources. So pretty much Orlando is a very international city, but the connections to the rest of the world out there was missing, except through our local chambers, which were mainly concentrating on connecting local businessmen with each other.
That's correct. And I love becoming, I love with this chamber that you are going to direct right now, and then have whoever have a business and want to invest right here. Here is Mr. Khalid, that you guys can come and contact him for more information about everything
Yeah.
you have going on right now.
So, in addition to my main business, which is real estate, I also have consultancy business, which is mainly companies coming from overseas or out of Orlando. When they come in, they would like to have somebody as a consultant to guide them on how they could establish themselves here in Orlando. So, in the past, I have traveled to China, I have traveled to Brazil, and a number of other countries, to DR and Mexico. And that is a way I connected with some of the companies overseas, and we secured some consultancy contracts. Just to give you an example, I visited China about 5 years ago. I visited some of the hospitals. The hospitals that I visited, they tend to be huge, 3,000 and 4,000 bed hospitals. They wanted to send a delegation every 2 months to Orlando, so they can see how Advent Health and Mayo Clinic, how they operate, just from an educational point of view. So I secured a contract from them where I made the connection, and they used to visit for 2 days and look around and get a up-to-date knowledge of how we operate. So currently, we're working with some of the hospitals in Mexico on a similar project, and also on some development in Dominican Republic on some hospitals that they need to bring in there.
Perfect. That's great too. Like helping other countries and give them a knowledge how we operating here, and they come over here, and they will come, and then you go over there. That's a very interesting and very good point of view. And I see you have a lot of things in your play, Mr. Khalid. How do you devise all yourself when you go to this event to another event? I say I am a multitasking girl and I can do everything now. I becoming with you like you management a lot. How through the years?
Well, I think you have to prioritize your day and see which are the events that you're going to make a good contact from a business point of view. Because networking is good, but there again, your net worth is really your network, and the network you build up over the years is what's very important to you. But then again, you have to pick and choose. You can't go to all the events. So I tend to choose events which are business oriented rather than just socializing and drinking and eating, etc. So I have a pretty good idea which are the events that myself or my agent going to benefit out of from a business point of view. So I've been in the area 15 years in Central Florida here, so pretty much I have a fairly good idea. Some of the organizations that have excellent events. I mean, some of these organizations, they're very expensive to join. For example, Orlando Economic Partnership, the cheapest membership is 17,000 now, and events have also become real expensive. I mean, before COVID, you used to go to some of these chamber lunches or some of these other business conferences, etc. 45, 50, 60. Now there's nothing less than 100. And the galas, they go all the way to $500 for a gala. So pretty much you have to see where you're going to get your money's worth.
That is absolutely true. One of the things that I have learned since I'm being here in Central Florida, that I joined so many chambers, and I used to do like a lot of networkings, like a lot social events, and that kind of thing. So now I'm to the point to choose which one I'm gonna go. Like you say, it's for a business point, a business view. How are you gonna get and which chambers? Because there's so many chambers in the area, so many local chambers that I've been visited, and I love to. I am a people person. And then I love to connect. I love to connect with you, and that way I can connect everybody with another sources that I know or I have.
Yeah. So when you look at some of the chambers, it really depends on your profession. I like the Lake Nona Chamber because Lake Nona Chamber is an expanding. Lake Nona is an expanding area, and you have a multitude of businesses that you can connect not only from a medical and tech and technology, but also real estate is booming over there. People moving in, etc. So there are really two aspects when I look at the organization. One is connecting with your local contacts. I used to get some of my realtors, and they used to say, "Oh well, I want to travel to Brazil, and I want to travel to Colombia to get clients." And my answer to that was, "You don't have to travel there. You have to get some of the local chambers, like the Spanish chamber or the Colombian chamber, and go there and connect with the people from there. They're right here, and they
Absolutely.
will bring you the clients, right? So so you have to have a combination of some of the local chambers plus the international chamber, because especially in the real estate business, your main buyers of real estate here in Central Florida are the Canadian, Colombians, Colombia, and some of the other South American countries. So you don't have to travel there. They're all here. Your contacts are right here.
Is meeting the right person and connect and go to the directory of Leonora Chamber. I love Leonora. I That's where we meet. I love the chamber. I think, like you say, it's growing. They have a lot of opportunities. They don't do as many events, but when they do the right events that you can be in and connect with the right person.
Right, right, and they also started the Lake Nona Leadership Program, and I am in their first batch of the leadership classes, and it's an excellent way to connect with the businesses in Lake Nona.
Yes.
So that's one thing, and also it all depends on your industry. For example, if you're in the hospitality industry, then you have to look at International Drive Chamber, where Maria Triscari, she has done a great job over the years. So you connect with a restaurant, with the hospitality industry, if you are going to provide any kind of services related to that industry. So different chambers, they function to different geographical areas and to different industries also. So it's a question of where your profession or your business fits into those particular chambers.
Yes, because we don't want to be in a red chamber where you're not going to drive your business the way you want to be. So you want to take a look at the right for the new people, the new business have meet a new business owners that
Right.
they ask where they want to be or what the recommendation. I say visit them and take a look which one is for you.
Right. Exactly. So, I mean, if you're interested in really connecting with people, with business people overseas, then Global Chamber, which I'm the president, that's the best way because sitting here, you will be surprised how many connections you will make on the Zoom meetings we have. In addition to the fact that they have their conferences throughout the world, and they will arrange everything at the other end when they have their conference for you to connect with the right people. So if you are interested in international business, selling your product overseas, that is the way to go. Or if you are interested in connecting with a local businessman, for example, if you are a bank and you want to connect with the local realtors, local commercial realtors, etc., then your local chambers, the Winter Park Chamber is a good one, and Lake Nona Chamber. There are many chambers here in locally where you can join and benefit out of the services that they provide.
That's correct. Well, that is something that I'm going to be coming back and forth with Mr. Khalid to learn a little bit more about him. And then I love how do you do business? How do you interact with people? How you up there? How like he was in a Spanish
Mhm.
party on one of these days that he say, I don't know why. I say, because, you very, let's say famous, like everybody knows Mr. Khalid, everybody knows who's Mr. Khalid. And now we are getting to a little bit more, not a little bit, about the real estate,
No,
about
no.
your real estate.
Now, on that question, I just want to follow up, and that is, whatever you do or wherever you get involved, try and get into a leadership role because whether you're the ambassador at the Hispanic Chamber or you're on the board of the Lake Nona Chamber, that is a way to show that you're really making a significant contribution to the organization.
And be involved with the community when you with the chamber. Be involved.
Yes,
I noticed that I be involved with the community. Be a voluntary for those chambers because they are non-profit organizations, some of them. And then you gotta be out there helping the chamber the way they help you out. That's the way I see it.
exactly. And by that, I also mean, there are a lot of nonprofit organizations here where you should get involved so you or your organization can be seen to be giving something back to the community, which is giving you a lot. I mean, I serve on the board of the Harbor House, which is the domestic violence against women, Nova Sendero, which is the Latino version of the domestic against violence organization. So it's a source for you to give your time and resources back to those who really need our help in solving a lot of the social issues that are out there.
Yeah, that's really, really good. Well, Mr. Khalid, I love and I will keep talking with you all night long. But we are here. What do you recommend to those new business owners, those new these people that are come and want to grow and they want to expand with your experience? What do you recommend them?
Well, I would recommend that number one, you have to see what your geographical market is. How far is there a market for your product? Is it local? Is it throughout the county, or is it internationally? So join an organization which aligns with your with your marketing strategy. So in other words, if you are just going to be concentrate, if you have a printing business and you're looking for business within a certain radius of where you are physically, then it's in order to do that, just join your local chamber. I mean, joining a local chamber isn't that much of a expenditure. Most of them they have a $200 a year fee, but what you get in return is a lot more. If you're opening up a new business, they'll come and help you with the ribbon cutting. They will bring in the VIPs, etc. So, in terms of the benefits for those $200-300 that you are paying out, are just totally out of proportion.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You heard about the expert, Mr. Khalid, right here. For the new owners, the new entrepreneurs. That there is a lot out there as well. And then, thank you so much for all your advice, for everything you put in the community. Because also you go to the nonprofit organizations. You always have your business, and then you run this amazing place right here. And then thank you, and I'm glad I have met you through Lake Nona Chamber, and then we're gonna keep in touch and see each other all the time. And then thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Gabby. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I look forward to reconnecting soon.
Of course, we're gonna connect
Yeah.
soon. Yeah, believe me, I'm not gonna disappear from you. I'm gonna be right attached to him to learn a little bit more about. So, well, thank you for all my listeners, all my audience right there. We're coming with a lot of new things, like I say in this channel, and then I will see you next Wednesday. Thank you.